Live from New Bedford, ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel blog show of authenticity, inspiration, and realness, also of good times, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now, here's your host of the show. He is Big Beefy E. He is Mr. Shenanigans and the elder statesman of the Rant and Rave podcast, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode, but this is a very special episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode 1669 of the show, and this is a very special episode because today is September the 11th, 2024, and everybody knows, most of the folks know what happened on that date 23 years ago in New York City. And I'd like to tell you guys where I was, and a lot of people were asking, where were you on that day? I know some people in Discord were asking, everybody is asking me. I figured instead of just writing it down on a Facebook message or on a Discord app, I figured I would do it because I like, so telling stories is very, very cool, but sometimes things like this, you want people to pay attention and you want people to listen. And sometimes I call myself the Rodney Dangerfield of the internet because I don't get respected as much. You know what I mean? So I figured, this is a huge opportunity for me to even get that perspective of the story going, shall we say? And it has not been an easy journey, to be totally honest with you. But here's what kind of happened. I remember going into work early that morning. I back then when Ruby Tuesday was at the Dartmouth Mall. I came in early that morning to work, and as you know, I was a dishwasher. Also, I used to help set up the salad bar, and I used to be, especially a front of the house housekeeper. That means I clean out the floor, I sweep up the floors, I clean, I mop up the floors and stuff, and usually scrub the floors and and clean the bathrooms and whatnot, and make sure toilet paper's in and everything else. And so I got everything done, mostly everything done, and I'm helping my friend, helping one of my coworkers to set up the salad bar. And some of the servers said, "Hey, turn on the TV," because we have a couple of TVs at the bar, at the Ruby Tuesday bar. And, a plane is, we heard that a plane just crashed into the World Trade Center. I'm like, what? Are you serious? And there it was. And then like a few minutes later, about 10, 15 minutes later, a few minutes later, the second plane crashed into another building of into another twin tower, and the other ones. And the two twin towers were, this was, it was a surreal moment. It was like, we could not believe what was happening. And this is way before, you have to realize, this is way before the internet really got big. Because if we had YouTube or TikTok and all this, this would have been taped. This would have been videoed and, and everything else in between. So, it was, a lot of people were telling stories. In fact, a lot of things were going on that day. Regis and Kelly was going on that day. Howard Stern. They all talked about what happened and to turn on the news, watch what's going on. And it was a crazy, crazy thing. It's like everything had to stop. It was like everything paused. And it's like no matter where you turn on the TV and change the channel, mostly all the stations had the 9/11 attacks and how it happened. So during all this was going on, we were trying to get our stuff done, our job done, our work done. So we did that, and we opened up the restaurant for a while until the power went out at the mall. Now we didn't know what happened. I don't know if we were next to be targeted or what. And there was a lot of theories have been going through my brain when the power went out at our mall. And so we didn't have any. The mall management at the time said, "We'll just shut the mall down for the day, because maybe for safety precautions. Because who knows what would have happened? It was unpredictable. The day was so unpredictable that day. It got to the point where we decided to close up shop on that day. And I totally remember going outside to do boxes and trash, to clear everything out. And I looked out to the parking lot of our mall where I work, and basically, it's like a ghost town. Not a single car. There was a few cars here from us, the employees and all, but it was like totally empty. The parking lot was totally empty. It was around 1 o'clock, 1:30 or something like that. We tried to get our work done, and then all of a sudden the power went out. It was crazy. So we decided, well, let's pack it all up, call it a day. And it was I don't know if the power. If somebody if the government. I don't know if the power was cut on purpose or somebody hit something. We didn't know what caused the power to go out that day. It was, because it wasn't that windy out. It wasn't, I know we were in the middle of hurricane season. I thought that would be it, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful day out. Not too much wind. So, somebody must have hit a transformer or something, or was the power shut down for safety reasons to prevent the terrorists from attacking us? Because you never know what was going to happen. I really totally be honest with you. I really don't know what. It was a crazy moment. And I remember just basically, I told her, got that, couldn't clock out at work because the computers were down, because the power was down. And my boss, Joe, at the time, Joe Munger, said, "Hey, I'll settle everything up tomorrow when we get back to work and all that." And I said, "Okay." So I said, "All right." So so I went home. I hopped in my Volkswagen. I owned a Volkswagen Jetta at the time. So we went home, and I basically, plopped down in my, I basically jumped, like I said, plopped in my seat, Volkswagen Jetta, turned on the car, and basically went home. I tried to listen to some music to keep my mind off it, but unfortunately, everybody was talking about what happened on 9/11. So, and a lot of places were closed that day. The Galleria was closing that day. It's like everybody basically shut down after the tragedy happened, and possibly for fear that we might get attacked next or something like that. And this was back in 2001. So basically, that day basically changed the way we lived our lives, and that day kind of united America at that point. There was no Republicans versus Democrats. It was us as one country, America. Nowadays, it's sad to see it divided. There are a lot of things we can agree and disagree on. And listen, I'm the type of person that don't like politics, and I never cared for it as much. I just go out and vote. But a lot of people, when I say I don't care about politics, a lot of people flip out about it. Say, hey, you should care, and I do. Is that what I'm trying to do is basically not let it affect me affect my life. Don't let it run my life, so to speak. Because a lot of things you see on the news today, negative, tragedy, this and that and other things, and then you go online, you see posts, oh, I'm with Kamala Harris or I'm with Trump, and people get upset about either one. I'm at that point where I say I'd rather vote for the Three Stooges in this case, But, either way, we need, our country needs healing, man. Ever since that day, though, ever since that 9/11 happened and all that, I remember going home, talking to my mother about it. I told her what happened at the mall when we all saw it. It was a strange, surreal feeling that day. It was, I never thought I would go home earlier. I never thought I would, go home. And that affected a lot of businesses that day, Everything was shut down, and, to me it was kind of like the beginning of the end, of everything that's been going on. And, so yeah, that just began, that just started, so to speak, to change a lot that day. And I mean, it was a lot of lost souls. A lot of souls were lost that day. A lot of people were lost that day. Possibly 4,000 people, like between 3,000, 3,500 people. 4 flights. 2 crashed into the towers, Twin Towers. Another one crashed into the side of the Pentagon. Another one was supposed to hit the White House, but there were a few brave people that stopped these terrorists. Ended up crash landing about before the White House. A few, probably in a forest or something like that. I don't know. I forget where. I know it wasn't far from the White House where they crashed. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't, that basically changed everything about our country. And then we don't know later on, a lot of finger pointing and all that. Everybody blamed President Bush. Let's get him out. Put him in everything. And like I said, it ended up dividing us as a country years later. There's a lot of finger pointing that was going on, People come up with crazy theories and all that, but I want to let you good folks know that there were a lot of lives lost that day. Some sacrificed themselves trying to save other lives. I know, and a lot of people who survived that, I heard suffered from that day as well. There are a lot of people. Parents lost their children. We lost children, grandparents have been lost, cousins, aunts, uncles, loved ones. Children lost parents, and it was a very tough day for all of us. And little by little, we try to get back to our regular lives. And then the country became divided when Donald Trump decided to run back in 2016. And politics, the internet, the media, to me, those things played a factor in dividing our country. I don't talk about politics as much. I don't post anything political. Like I said, I don't care too much for politics. But because I realize what it has done to our country, and I try not to worry. I try not to let anything get to me, but since that day, since everything has changed, people get annoyed. When I was a kid, they get annoyed with me talking about video games, baseball, and wrestling. Nowadays, I want to talk about all that on here instead of talking about something like this happening. You know, people that don't even know me from a hole in the wall tell me to grow up, this and that. You know, people want to tell. There's people out there that don't know me from a hole in the wall. Tell me what try to tell me what to do about my life, what to do with my life, how to live my life. I don't live my life according to other people. I'm sorry. I live my life according to me. If I want to live my life praising God, and being kind to others, no matter what, that's what I'll be. That's what I'll do. If I want to live my life having fun, being myself, talking about wrestling, video games, baseball, football, fun stuff, then I'll do so. But the reason why I try to be thankful and never negative and not complain, I should be thankful for the life that I have. If it hadn't been for the Lord Jesus Christ, I would not be here today talking to all of you good people. I felt like I served a purpose here, I serve a purpose here, and I decided to continue with that purpose, I don't give up on my life. Unless something happens that affects me directly, I don't need to worry. I love everybody too much to basically say, hey, say life's too short, hug the ones you love somebody today, be kind to somebody if they're going through something today. Yes, we run into internet trolls and they tell us otherwise. They get upset, and sometimes you let them get to you. They want you to have they think you having a mental breakdown on video is funny to them. If that's the case, then there was something wrong with them, But you think about what happened on 9/11, 23 years ago today, on this date. You want to live your life right. And sometimes we all have to live our lives like it's our last. The Lord has blessed me with so many great and wonderful friends that I made on here, and give me the ability to contact with my family and keep in contact with them. God has blessed me with good people in my life that care about me and they love me, and I'm so very thankful to this day about it. It is because of you guys out there, all my friends out there who inspired me to create my own YouTube show. Give me such positive. There's friends of mine that I know give me such positive feedbacks on my videos. And, for things like 9/11 to happen, it kind of, when major tragedies happen, even if it affects somebody that you know. I mean, there's a lot of people in my life that I've interacted with. A lot of them are no longer here with us today. And every time that happens, I've always reflect on what's happened in my life. I could sit here and complain and be mean, but I'm not doing that. I am feeling very blessed today. And I want to encourage you guys to love somebody today. Like I said again, respect somebody. I know it isn't easy to do so. There's folks out there that don't understand why we live our lives the way we live. And sometimes they say something disrespectful towards us. People that don't know us from a hole in the wall, and we end up having to block them. Not because, yes, we do believe in free speech. But there are 4 things that we need to adhere to in order to keep that free speech going. I call it the term method. T for timing. Whatever subjects we talk about, make sure your comments are in line with that subject. If they're not, I have to remove them. E, etiquette. Basically, learn, speak when spoken to, be patient, watch the video, observe, And I'm going up a little bit of tangent here, but still. R, respect. Folks, respect's a two-way street. You respect us, we will respect you. If you don't respect us, we won't be able to respect you. And that's R. And M, manners. Be mindful of your words and mind your manners. But going back, 9/11, that was a surreal day, man. A lot of crazy things happened between. We watched the on TV. We stopped to watch watch what happened on the news. 2 planes hitting the towers. Then we heard a report of another one hitting into the Pentagon. And then another one attempted to go to the White House but didn't make it there. And then while we worked, the power went out. We decided to the mall decided to close for safety reasons. And went home. And I went home. Just trying to sit. I was in the basement, still living in the basement at the time. So trying to assess everything that's happened. And like I said, man, it has been a really rough time. Well, rough times, and times going to get a little rougher. Election season coming up. It's already here. They had a debate last night, and like I said, a lot of people have their opinions on it, and I have mine. And I always try to keep political beliefs to myself, and that's what I want to do. I always, instead of yakking about it, and yakking about politics and all that, I observe what's going on, assess the situation, pray about it, ask the Lord for wisdom, and when I go vote, hopefully I vote the right person in. Now I don't want to tell anybody who to vote for. That's up to you. I keep it to myself. People don't like the way I live my life, the old school life, but I still try to respect everybody. No matter what race, creed, or color. I know a lot of people have a lot of things happening. There's some weird people out there, Looney Tunes people out there, but I just pray for them, It's a shame that our country is divided today, because 9/11 back then united us as a country. We need that unity again. That country unity again. I am proud to be an American. That's what I am. I'm not Republican, Democrat, or Independent. I'm an American. I respect people from other countries. Some are good people. And I'm very thankful and blessed to have so many wonderful people in my life, from family to friends. And I'm very thankful after that horrible day that a lot of them are still alive today, and I still get to talk to them. I feel very blessed and very thankful. You guys are awesome out there. Let's never forget those who lost their lives that day on 9/11, 23 years ago. How would they react about the world today? Me? In their honor, I will live my life. The way I feel that should be lived. Try not to worry about politics. Try not to worry about what's going on in the news, or the tragedies or everything else surrounding myself and all that. I try not to worry anything else surrounding me. I just want to be blessed and stay thankful. I'm just thankful. So, attitude of gratitude, that's what I go for. So, today, in honor of those lost on 9/11, let's live our lives right. Let's be kind to one another, be respectful towards one another, and love one another. And let's put a smile on someone's face today. Let's not be mean and disrespectful towards. And let the words of Bill and Ted be excellent to each other. And I want to be excellent to you as I do this show. And I'm sure, I know you guys there's a lot of people out there who like my content. I always try to bring cheerful content. I'm going to continue to do so. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Never forget. Thank you. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.